Welcome back, True Seeker. This weekend, Hezbollah reportedly sent a rocket into Israel that killed children in a football field. And since then, Israel has vowed vengeance and delivered with airstrikes in Beirut, Iran, and in other places. But going into Lebanon and Iran, and we talked about how this weekend, where this confrontation greatly escalated, it was the weekend that had the 110th anniversary of the start of World War I. That was this Sunday, July 28th, the day Israel first retaliated, the day Netanyahu said there'd be vengeance. And again, this is stemming off of what's come before it, this war with Israel and the region, which is on the back of our war with the Middle East after 9/11. And of course, what started in Israel started on the anniversary, October 7th, of us invading Afghanistan after 9/11. Again, it was October 7th, 2001, when the U.S. sent its forces into the Middle East. And this time it was October 7th, 2023. But not only was it the anniversary of the World War, it was 42 weeks after the war began on October 7th. Exactly 42 weeks later, it began on a Saturday. Supposedly the children struck on the football field on a Saturday. And the 42 is very interesting. Again, as we've talked about so many times, Gematria, ABC's 1, 2, 3. W, the first letter of war. W is the 23rd letter using the alphabetic order that we all learn. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. By the end, you get to Z. W is the 23rd letter. A is the first, R is the 18th. 23 plus 1 plus 18 is 42. The next cipher, alphabetic order with numerology. Same thing, just using numerology. W, the 23rd letter, is no longer 23. It's 2 plus 3 is 5. It's the numerology of 23. Alphabetic order with numerology. World War. Try it out. Try out the alphabetic order with numerology. Add up World War. W will be worth 5. O, the 15th letter, will be 1 plus 5 is 6. R, the 18th letter, should be 1 plus 8 is 9. Just make them all single-digit numbers. Add it up. World War 42. And again, Iran has the Gematria 42, like Hamas, like Zionism, like Freemason, like Jesuit. You know, the Freemason logo is the G. In Sumerian Gematria, which is multiplying the alphabetic order times 6, G, the 7th letter, becomes 7 times 6. So G is 42 in that cipher known as Sumerian Gematria. The Jesuit headquarters is at the Church of the Jesuit, like the beginning of Jesus, but spelled with a G instead. And remember, the New Testament's written in Greek. A lot of the stuff the Masons are into, like the 47th problem of Euclid, goes back to the Greeks. They say Pythagoras, or at least some say Pythagoras is the first Freemason. Others say Nimrod. And then there's even other arguments. But anyway, it's all biblical. Again, the 42 list. War, World War, Iran, Hamas, Zionism, Freemason, Jesuit, Georgetown's 42. Never forget Georgetown. Just the Jesuits and the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry in D.C., it's just such an obvious example. Georgetown, the first Jesuit university established by the numbers, days before George Washington, the Masonic war general, becomes the first recognized U.S. president. Again, the Jesuits and the Scottish Rite share that Ad Merum Dei Gloriam motto at the 32nd degree. America equals 32. Established on 32 date numerology 7/4/1776. 32 sun rays on the Jesuit logo. Dodgers ending the 32-year drought against the Rays. All Jesuit jokes in the big script. Sports and news year after year sync together. But yeah, 42, huge war number. The U.S. deployed its first troops to World War II at the start of 42, shortly after Pearl Harbor, which happened at the very end of 1941. Remember, that was a big Jesuit joke. USA 41. The Jesuit suppression lasted 41 years. The USA was formed in the middle of it. 41's the 13th prime to go with the 13 stripes and the 13 colonies. And Afghanistan's government collapsing on the Jesuit order's birthday, and then 13 troops being killed. And then years later, it comes out that we were lied to how they were killed. We were told a bomb went off next to them. Then they come out with the video that they're getting shot from all different angles, explosions going off all over the place. Much different than what was explained. But do you guys see in the article how it says around 2, and then it gives you it was at 22:30 GMT, Global Standard Time, whatever that stands for. But again, that universal time, just you guys know the 223, right? That's how we called it the day Netanyahu came back, December 29, 2022, that there'd be a war in 2023. It's that 223 sequence. The synagogue of Satan equals 223, like Philadelphia. Again, reminding you it's all biblical. Revelation 3:7, the letter to the church of Philadelphia about the synagogue of Satan. This war with Hezbollah super escalated this weekend, the anniversary of World War I, 37 weeks after the superior general's birthday, 37 weeks like Revelation 3:7. Hezbollah has that Gematria 37. The man they assassinated yesterday before this had the 37 connection. We talked about that yesterday. But we're talking about 223 in the synagogue of Satan. Now this is the update since then. I could have just started there. It's the whole number the 2023 prediction was based around. Hey, by the way, the person who put out a video that day said I was just exaggerating, that it was a significant event with Israel. Somebody put out a video that day, the day the war began. You know, how we'd had it circled, but, you know, since Netanyahu came back, but also October 4th, they did that 10-4 alert in Russia and the U.S. We did a big TFR episode that night saying how they were pointing to October 7th, Putin's 71st birthday. And then boom, next thing you know. But yeah, there was a guy who put out a video and said that there was nothing significant about that day. It would be in and out of the headlines like Israel skirmishes always are. That guy never put out a retraction video. I mean, anyway, he's got haters everywhere. You don't have anybody helping you get out the word. But yeah, you guys, it's just something else. We've been talking about Iran and 42 again, just nonstop. I mean, World War Iran fear mongering has been going on forever, and that's what we've been pointing out. We've been saying, isn't it funny how they always use Iran, this big 42 nation that was overthrown by the CIA? And by the way, with regards to the Jesuits, you guys, the overthrow of Iran began on August 15th, the Jesuit order's birthday. Same day Afghanistan's government just collapsed. Jesuit-educated Trump, his brother, just died the other year on August 15th, Donald Trump's brother. Trump went to Fordham, the Jesuit University in New York. Biden went to the Jesuit prep schools. Kamala couldn't get past the bar until she started studying at the Jesuit University, became friends with people like Gavin Newsom, Jesuit educated at Santa Clara. Anyway, they're always doing Jesuit Georgetown 42 jokes. They just love to use this number in so many ways, but that's the point I'm making, you guys. How this is all being manipulated. When people listen to these videos and I don't close it out with a sentence like that, I just assume people will understand. When you got people listen to it like, so what's it all mean? I mean, what do you think it all means? His story equals 42. The Bible, that's part of his story. The New Testament begins with the 42 generations to Jesus. New Testament equals 42. Math equals 42. The first book of the New Testament that begins with the 42 generations to Jesus is called what? See, that's the thing, too. You go out and survey people who say they're Christian. I bet you at least half of them don't know the first book of the New Testament's Matthew. I bet almost none of them realize it begins with the first 42 generations to Jesus. But, again, the beast rules for 42 months in Revelation. Revelation full of war. The Church of Philadelphia, that's in modern-day Turkey, who's threatening to leave NATO. And realize NATO just turned 75 at the start of this year, and that was the other huge clue for 2023. We've been talking about that for 10 years in advance, nearly. Why 2023 was going to be a year for Israel, the year they turned 75 years old, because of the New York Times article from October 6, 1940. A date was 75 numerology. Again, look it up, you guys. There's an article from the New York Times, a paper always controlled by Jesuits. Look it up. It's a true article. A headline, October 6, 1940. New World Order pledged to Jews. Just type that in. You'll see that's exactly how the New York Times headline is. 75 date numerology. New World Order equals 75. Order out of chaos equals 75. The word order alone is 75 the big way. Roman Catholic Church, or excuse me, just Roman Catholic is 75. Catholic Church is also 75. Ignatius of Loyola is 75, the founder of the Jesuits, who gave us the calendar, who gave us the language as we know it. The current superior general is 75 right now. Again, NATO, it matters a lot that there's 75 as Turkey threatens to leave. And it's all biblical ritual when, again, the world as we know it, the calendar system as we know it, the Bible as we know it, in the Western world, it's because of the Catholic Church. We're living out their story, his story, a reshuffling of IHS, the Jesuit acronym for Isus Hominum Salvator, which for the record equals 266, like we're in the time of the first Jesuit Pope, the 266th in the history of the Church, who once spoke in D.C. on the 266th day of the year, September 23rd, 2015, in the land that used to be called Rome on the Potomac, owned by a man named Francis Pope. I think they've had this script written for a long time, you guys, the Jesuits. The last French Pope was the 201st. Pope Francis is the first to live in Suite 201. Catholic Pope equals 201, like the Jesuit order, like Order of Illuminati, founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. Like State of Israel equals 201, founded in a big Jesuit ritual where David Ben-Gurion dies 201 days after the anniversary of its establishment. But I'll stop, because I've said all these things a gazillion times. And the world is overwhelmingly, for some reason, well, it's the censorship that's killing it. It's just, I can't believe more people haven't caught on to this. Everyone should be catching on right now. I mean, I've literally been talking about Iran and 42 1,000 times over in the last nearly 11 years now. And just this, again, we just hit 42 weeks from the start of the war. Now it's 42 weeks and days. Again, October 7th is when the war began. October 8th is when Netanyahu declared war on Hamas. So it was a Saturday-Sunday ritual then. It was a Saturday-Sunday ritual this time too, both 42 weeks from the anniversary. And again, Iran's been the name the whole time because Hamas, which equals 42 like Iran, is backed by Iran. That's what they always say in the stories. And again, you guys, I mean, just the fact that Iran was overthrown by the CIA in the 50s, beginning on the Jesuit order's birthday, they say it went August 15th through the 19th, but again, it began on that day that always comes up. And don't forget the CIA was established on the 201st day of the Pope's age, or that the words in its logo equal 201, just like its motto equals 201, the work of a nation, the center of intelligence. I think they realized a long time ago if they lower the intelligence of the populace, it's really easy to control them. I'll do a stream later today, but this is it for now. Until next time, True Seeker.